She thought she found perfect love. He married her for revenge. What happens when devotion turns to deadly betrayal? Get ready, because on Twisted Love Files, we're diving into a true story of passion and ultimate destruction. This is Lisa and Anthony's story. The Lagos night was full of car fumes and far-off Afrobeat music. But inside the big Ikoyi mansion, it was terribly quiet. Anthony, a powerful man everyone feared, lay dead on the fancy rug. A red stain grew on his white clothes. Standing over him, holding a shiny brass letter opener, was his wife, Lisa. Her hand shook. Just 6 months ago, Lisa was the happiest woman in Lagos. Anthony, a rich businessman with a charming smile, had quickly won her heart. He was everything she ever wanted, kind, caring, and truly dedicated to her. Their wedding was famous, a grand event that showed their high standing in Lagos. She really loved him, a deep love that even surprised her. But then, she started hearing things. First, soft whispers, like leaves in the wind. Then, louder, more urgent. Lisa's best friend, Mary, finally told her the painful truth. Anthony, it turned out, was the younger brother of Nathan, Lisa's first love. She thought Nathan had left her years ago, breaking her heart and shaming her. Mary explained that Nathan hadn't left. He was set up, his business ruined, and he disappeared. Anthony had planned it all because he was jealous and wanted to take his older brother's place. Anthony had married Lisa not because he loved her, but for revenge. She was like a twisted prize to show Nathan a final way to control him. The truth hit Lisa hard. Her love for Anthony turned sour. Every gentle touch, every loving word, now felt like a harmful lie. The betrayal was so deep, it made her gasp. She watched him, ate with him, and slept beside him, as anger and pain built up inside her. One evening, Anthony came home late from a meeting, feeling very happy. He announced he had just closed a big business deal that would make him famous forever. He talked about their future, about having children and growing old together. Each word felt like a new stab to her heart. Lisa excused herself, her heart beating very fast. She walked into his study and saw his collection of old weapons. Her eyes stopped on the brass letter opener. Its sharp tip shined in the dim light. When she went back to the living room, Anthony was laughing loudly. That sound used to make her happy, but now it just annoyed her. He raised a glass to her, his eyes full of what she now knew was fake love. "To us, my love," he said, "to our perfect life." At that moment, something inside her broke. The years of pain, the betrayal, the heavy burden of his lies, it all exploded into one strong urge. She didn't think, she just acted. The letter opener, heavy and cold in her hand, became a part of her unleashed fury. Now, standing over his dead body, the silence returned, deeper and more scary than before. The brass opener fell to the floor, making a surprisingly loud sound. Lisa looked at her hands, stained red. He had married her for revenge. But in that last, desperate act, she had killed him for love, the love she once had for him, the love she had for Nathan, and the broken, desperate love she now had for herself, for a future free from his control. The question now was, what would tomorrow bring? The first rays of the Lagos sun, usually a welcome golden glow, now felt like a spotlight accusing her. Lisa stood still, the horror of what she'd done slowly sinking in, replacing the furious rage. The silence of the mansion was no longer just quiet, it was a heavy blanket, suffocating and showing her guilt. Her mind, still spinning, started to recall what had happened. Anthony's last laugh, the shine of the brass letter opener, the horrible thud as he fell. A cold fear, much worse than anything she had felt before, covered her. She had killed him. Her husband. The man who, for a short, misleading time, had been her whole world. Then, practical thoughts began to bother her. What would she tell the police? How could she explain the blood on her hands, the dead body on the rug? This wasn't a small argument between husband and wife, this was murder. In Nigeria, a crime this serious would be met with quick and harsh punishment. The thought of the infamous Ikoyi prison, of the unforgiving justice system, made her shiver. She looked around the rich living room, now a gruesome scene. The expensive art, the imported furniture, the very feeling of wealth that had once seemed so inviting, now felt like a fancy prison. She had to think, to act. But what? Her hands still shook, and her heart beat wildly, threatening to burst. A noise from outside, the distant sound of a car, startled her. The house staff would arrive soon. The gateman, the cooks, the cleaners, they would find everything. Pure panic seized her. She couldn't be found like this. Not here, not now. Her eyes darted to the study. Anthony's study. A place of his power, full of his secrets. Maybe there was something there, anything, that could explain, that could save her. Or maybe, something that could make things worse for her. One thing was sure, the truth, the whole ugly truth of why she had killed him, was a story no one would believe. Not in a country where a woman's actions were often judged more harshly than a man's, where powerful people rarely faced real consequences. As the morning light grew brighter, Lisa made a decision, a desperate, terrifying risk that would either free her or decide her fate. She would have to change the story. But how do you explain a dead body on your living room floor, when the reason was a love so deeply betrayed, it had turned into a deadly poison? Lisa's desperate act leaves us with so many questions. Was it justice, or another tragedy born from a twisted love? What would you have done in her place? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button for more unsettling stories from the Twisted Love Files.